Hello everyone. In this video, today we are going to find out how to calculate standard deviation for a discrete series. We'll quickly move on how to find out. See, what's the discrete series? You already know the value of x is given here. F value also will be given. The meaning for this is 10, 10. Okay, 2 times f value is the frequency. 2 times 10 has come 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, 30. It has come 3 times. So 20, 20, 20, 20, 4 times it has come, 40 has come 1 time. So this is an individual series if I write like this. So otherwise I'll count 10 has come 2 times, 30 has come 3 times. Like this if I write, it is called the discrete series. If you know already, we have done it using the mean median mode previous videos, right? So now we'll quickly move on to how to calculate the standard deviation for the discrete series. What are all the formulas we are going to use it here? So first I want to show the formulas here. So this is for the direct method and I will take here the population. Okay, so now I'm taking here the population method here. Population, I'm not population only we are going to do it. So if you want to do it for if you want to do it for your sample, you just replace this with n-1 and replace this with the mu. Okay, so now most probably it is not necessary to replace this mean with mu. Directly you can take it x bar itself. So when it is a sample, then I'm changing it as s and I'm doing it. Okay, the formula will look like this. For s is equal to root of sigma f into x minus x bar the whole square divided by n-1 will be the for the sample. So for clarity, I'm going to use it for the population here. So this is the direct method. Now this is the shortcut method where d is nothing but d is equal to x minus a, where a will be selected as a assumed mean here. Okay, that's what I'm going to do it. So then a less popular method, we are going to have the step deviation method where your d here is x minus a and divided by h. Okay, now your d here will be like this, your d here will be like this. Okay, now imagine now this h should be multiplied inside the square root, then it should be h square. When it is multiplied outside the square root, then it should be multiplied with h. This is what is the most confusing part for each and every student. So what you have to remember is just omit this h at all. Then for variance and standard deviation, this h is taken as h square and multiplied. That alone, if you remember, it won't have any confusion with you. So here it should be h square, not h. So in some books, if you see h, that should be outside the square root. That's what you have to remember here. Only one hint I'm going to tell. Okay, if you use h, then is always outside the square root. So now if I want to rewrite this formula, I'll write it as sigma is equal to root of whatever it is here into h will be outside, or h should be inside. For our clarity, we are going to have it inside the square root, so there won't be any confusion. So we'll quickly move on to how to calculate the standard deviation in the direct method, shortcut method, and step deviation method for the discrete series. Okay, now this is the discrete series given here. What you are going to do is you are going to write this first. Okay, you are going to write this first inside. See, x is written and f is written as usual. I am going to calculate fx. How to calculate fx? I'm going to multiply this f with this. So 3 is multiplied with 10. So this will be 3 into 10. Here, this will be 5 into 12. This will be 9 into 14. This will be 16 into 16. This will be 18 into 18. This will be 7 into 20. This will be 2 into 22. That's what we have been doing. Now, I have to find out fx. So how to find out? That we are going to calculate. Now, this 3 into 10, I am getting it as 30. It's finished. 5 into 12, it is 60. Now 9 into 14, that is 126. 16 into 16, that is 256. 8 into 18, that will give you 144. 7 into 20, okay, now gives you 140. 2 into 22, which gives you 44. So now, once I calculated this f of x, the next column here is we are having an x bar here. Note it down here, we are having an x bar. X bar is nothing but mean for discrete series. How to calculate mean for discrete series is sigma fx by sigma f. Or I will write it as sigma fx by n. I'm going to write it here. So I have to total this column as well as these two columns. I'm going to total it here. You can see, then we will proceed. So now it is 50. Now I'm going to total it here. It is 800. Okay. So now I'm going to find out the mean here. Mean is 800 by 50. Now I'm getting cancelled this 80 by 5, which gives you 60. So I got x bar now. My x bar is 16. So I am going to calculate x minus x bar here. So what is my x here? X is 10 and x bar is 16. So it should be 10 minus 16. Here it should be 12 minus 16. Here it should be 14 minus 16, etc., etc. Okay, so now 16 minus 16, then 18 minus 16, then 20 minus 16, then 22 minus 16. That's what I'm going to calculate now. So let us calculate. 10 minus 16 will give you, what is the number we are getting? It as 6. Now 12 minus 16, that is 4. 14 minus 16, 2. 16 minus 16 is 0. 18 minus 16 is 2. 20 minus 16 is 4. 22 minus 16 is 6 for you. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to square this, because x minus x bar, the whole square is there. So minus 6 should be squared in this column. Minus 4 should be squared in this column. Minus 2 should be squared in this column. 0 square, 2 square, 4 square, 6 square. This is what I'm going to write it in the next column. Let us write. Now 6 square is 36 here. Got it. 4 square is 16. 2 square is 4. 0 square 0, 2 square 4, 4 square 16, 6 square 36. Now what I'm going to do is here f into x minus x bar is given. So I'm going to mark the column of f here, mark the column of x minus x bar the whole square. I'm going to multiply these two. Okay, now these two columns I'm multiplying, and I'm going to write it here in this column. So what I'm going to do is I'm multiplying f with this 36, right? So how to do this? 3 is multiplied with 36, and which will give you 108. Now 5 is multiplied with 16, which will give you 80. 9 is multiplied with 4, which will give you 36. 16 is multiplied with 6, which will give you 0. 8 is multiplied with 4, which gives you 32. 7 is multiplied with 16, which gives you 112. 2 is multiplied with 36, which gives you 72. So now I have calculated all the values here. Which are all the columns? I'm going to total it now. So this is the only one column. I'm going to total it here. This column I'm going to find out the total here, because the formula is sigma f of x minus x minus x bar the whole square divided by n. So this n is nothing but sigma f. Okay, so now this is the column, which is the last column. This is this column, right? I'm going to find out the value. Then so it is 440. Now I total it. I'm going to substitute this here, 440. So how to substitute here? 440. Where from this 440 is coming? 440 is this column, then 50 is this column. So I'm going to write it. So once written, it is inside the square root. I'm going to find out the value here. It is nothing but 2.96. You can use your calculator to find it out. It is nothing but root of 8.8, where I'll get 2.97 for your standard deviation for direct method. This is a very pretty straightforward one, so that it is easy for you to calculate. Now we shall move on to the next method, which is called the shortcut method. So here we will be in the shortcut method, we will be selecting some value 16 or 14, like that. I'll make it as a, then I'm going to find out the deviation, just like so. Suppose if you do not know how to find out the deviation method, you can visit the section here. I have given a link in the description box, so you can go and check for mean, median, mode, how to find out the step deviation method as well as the shortcut method. Anyway, I'm going to teach in the next slide. Okay, so now this is it. So for clarity, I'm going to take this. See, x is there, f is there. I have written in the two column. Now, what is the next step? I have to select any one value from X so that I can subtract that. That I'll call it as a deviation. So assume mean. Okay. So suppose most of the people will take 16 only. For my clarity, I'm going to take it as 14. In the next sum, I'm going to take it as 16 and show it to you whether you can take any value here. Most probably you'll be taking the center value. So here I'm going to take the 14 as my A here. Okay, so this is my A. I'm going to take it as 14. So I'm going to find out this column. How to find out this column? 10 is there. That is called X. So 10 minus 14. Similarly, here 12 minus 14. Then 14 minus 14. Then 16 minus 14. These are all the values coming from here. Okay, you should know, right? So now 18, right? So 18 minus 14. Here 20 minus 14. Okay, so 20 minus 14. Here 22 minus 14. This is what I'm going to calculate now. So 10 minus 14, which obviously gives you 4 here. 12 minus 14, 2. 14 minus 14, 0. 16 minus 14, 2. 18 minus 14, 4. Now 20 minus 14, which gives you 6. 22 minus 14, which gives you 8. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to square this value. So minus 4 square here, minus 2 square, 0 square, 2 square, 4 square, 6 square, 8 square. This is what I'm going to find it out. So we'll find out the square of this value. So minus 4 into 4, which will give you 16. 2 into 2 will give you 4. 0 square is 0. 2 square 4. 4 square. Then 16, 6 square, 36, 8 square, 64. Now, what is the next column here? So next column says F and D. So which are all the column here? F is this column, D is this column. I'm going to multiply. I'm going to write here. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do it here. My F value is 3. My D value is minus 4. So I'm going to find out 3 into minus 4. Here it is 5 into minus 2, etc. So I'm going to show it now. So my F value is 3, D is 4. So I'm getting it here as 12, 5 2s are 10. So 9 zeros are 0, 16 2s are 32. 4 8s are 32 here, 7 6 are 42, 2 8s are 16. So this is over. Now, what will be the next column here? So it says FD square, don't square it. Okay, so most of the people will square it and write 144 here. If you write it is wrong, it is nothing but F into D square. It is not FD the whole square. FD the whole square is wrong. F into D square only is correct. You must be very, very careful while doing this particular step. Okay, so note down, note down, note down. Okay, right. Now, where is F here? F is here. D square is here. I'm going to multiply this. So this should be 3 into 16. Here it is 5 into 4, etc. Okay, so now I'm going to show it now. So F is 3, D square is 16. So it should be 48. 5 into 4, it should be 20. 9 into 0, it should be 0. 16 into 2, I'm sorry. 16 into 4, it should be 64. 8 into 16, it should be 128. 6 into 36, now 252. 2 into 64, it is 120. So after finding it out, what are all the things I'm going to do? So which are all the column I have to total it? Okay, now this column I have to total it. This column I have to total it. This column I have to total it because it is given in the formula. Now this is sigma F. This is sigma FD. Now this is sigma FD square. Now instead of sigma F, it is given as N. So we can use it. So I'll show here now. I have totaled sigma F. I'll call this as N here. This is sigma FD. This is sigma FD square. So I have totaled it. Now I want to write it down in the formula. This is the formula where this FD square is 640. So I'm going to write 640 here. I'm going to write N is nothing but 50. FD by N. FD is 100 by N is 50 is the whole square. So I'm going to write now 640 coming from here. Now this 50 coming from here. Now 100 coming from here because it is FD. You have to remember this. This is FD by N the whole square. Okay, so now we are writing it this here. We are going to find it out. Now this is get cancelled 64 by 5. And then this is 100 by 50. How to calculate this particular 440 by 50? How it is coming? I'm going to show it now here. Now 640 by 50, right? Now 640 by 50 minus this is 100 by 50 will be 2. 2 square is 4. I'm going to multiply these two. So it is 640 minus 200 divided by 50. So it is 440 divided by 50. 0 cancels. It is 44 by 5. I'm going to find out the value. This is how we have to calculate here. Now it's nothing but 2.97. Usually this is 8.8 only. This should be, I have to write one more step if you want. I can write 44 by 5, which will give you 8.8. The root is 2.97 for this. Okay, so now it is the simplest form of finding out. In the next one, we are going to find out how to calculate the standard deviation for your not group series, standard deviation for the discrete series for the step deviation method. Here, step deviation method is, note down this particular column here. Now it is nothing but x minus 14, and you can see here the difference is 2. So if I divide this by 2, I can get as more smaller number. That is what I'm going to do it in the step deviation method. Most of the time people will say from this 10, here 10 is there, 10 to 12, what is the difference? We have to divide this by that difference. It is not necessary. You can choose your own value. This particular value we are going to multiply in the last step. So no worries here. So we are going to find it out here. Now D. Okay, now x value I have written as it is, f value I have written as it is. I'm going to do it in a step deviation method to find out the standard deviation here. Now what is this D here? I have written D is equal to x, okay, minus 16 by 2. Now what are all this? Okay, now this 16 is nothing but a. Okay, now assumed mean this is nothing but h. Okay, now this 2 is nothing but h. So these two values I only choose. Okay, so now you can choose your these two values as you wish. Okay, so it should be common for all the other values, so that you can divide it. Okay, now I'm going to calculate this particular value for 10 here. My x value is 10. So I'm going to substitute here 10 for x minus 16. How I am going to do it? 16 I'm going to select it for a. Okay, now assumed mean is nothing but a. I'm going to keep it. Okay, so even you can keep 14 just like the previous example also, but for clarity I'm using it as 16 here. Okay, it is simple. Now divided by 2, what I'm going to get it is, so minus 6 by 2, I'm going to take it as minus 3. So that is what I'm going to write it here, minus 3. I got it. So I'm going to do it for the 12 now. Okay, now I'm going to do it for 12. So it is 12 minus 16 divided by 2, which gives you minus 4 by 2, which is minus 2. That is what I'm going to write it here. Okay, now similarly for all the other values I'm going to calculate. When you calculate for 14, I'm going to calculate 14 minus 16 by 2, which gives you minus 2 by 2, which is 1, etc. Now 16 minus 16 by 2, which will give 0, etc. I'm going to write. So you can watch the pattern here. It is easy. So 1, 2, 3. Similarly, down also it will come 1, 2, 3. Okay, so most of the sum. Okay, don't keep it in mind. All the sums will come the same time. Okay, now we shall move on to the d square here. Now 3 square, which gives you 9, 2 square gives you 4, 1 square gives you 1, 0, then 1 square 1, 2 square will give you 4 here, 3 square will give you 9. Now what is the next column? Next column is f and d, just like a previous one. I am multiplying 3 into minus 3, which give you minus 9, 5 into minus 2 gives you 10, 9 into minus 1 gives you minus 9, 16 into 0, which gives you 0, 8 into 1 gives you 8, 7 into 2 gives you 14, 2 into 3 gives you 6. Then which are all the columns? Next column, what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply this f with this f d square. Okay, now 3 into 9, I'm going to have it as 27, 5 into 4, which gives you 20, 1 into 1, which gives you 9. I'm sorry, I'm making a small mistake here. Okay, now Yeah, fine. It's fine. It's fine. Sorry. Right. 9 into 1 is 9. Right. Now 16 into 0, which gives you 0. 8 into 1 is 8. 7 into 4 is 28. 2 into 9 is 18. So I'm going to use my formula here. How to use the formula? I'm going to, before that, I'm going to total it. Okay. Which are all the columns I'm totaling it? F I'm totaling it. FD I'm totaling it. FD square I'm going to total it. Okay. So now total it like this. So I'm going to finish it. Now I'm going to substitute the value as just like the previous column, right? I'm going to do it. Only one point you have to remember, this h square should be within the square root inside. Now this is h here, whichever is given here 2, that is h square. So 110, this column, FD square column is 110. Now FD column is 0. I'm putting it 0 here. This is 50 is sigma F, that is written as N. Okay, so 2.2 into 4, which gives you 8.8. For that, I'm going to find out the square root 2.97. Okay, so now this is how you are going to calculate the standard deviation in the step deviation method for discrete series. Now, what is next? Next is for continuous series. Just we'll be doing this in the next video. Thank you very much for watching this video. Kindly subscribe to my channel. If you have any queries or any suggestions, please just put it in the comment box so that we shall improve. So if you want to have some other method of the teaching or some other easiest method, if you need it, you just put it in the comment box so that we can prepare some video and give it to you. Thank you very much. Have a good day.